Asking me, well, how do you set it up? There's just a couple of ways to set up the paper cutter. Let me see here. Drew, come in. Just you're on the black key. You have, without saying, here, you sit up. Here, sit up. Your arm up here, and then you do this, and then do this. Okay, here, lay back down. Okay, so look, what you're gonna do is you're gonna walk at an angle north-south. So, look, so we're here. Right? And I got kind of that side control where I didn't want to be, but he's framing here. So I'm trying to walk around, he's framing. I could pull it right here and roll over it. Or if he pulls the elbow down, because yes, right here, I can push it and I can roll over this arm. So just be careful here. I'm gonna roll here, lock the hip, and I start rolling the hips. If you notice this arm right here, okay, and then you reach here, and then you roll the hips right back here, okay? Now, notice how there's pressure. So as I go here, if I get it, that's great, but probably not because you'll pull that elbow and you don't have it. And careful not to wrist lock yourself either. Yeah, so pull it. So now I'm gonna go here and I'm just gonna frame it here as I keep striving forward. Here I wanna grab as deep as I can here. And now I'm gonna pull him up and this left elbow is staying straight. So now I'm just gonna roll on my left side, with that being the finish. I do not want to create that bend in the wrist. It puts a lot of pressure on the wrist and it helps him because I want to just drop the bar. Literally, it's like if you're choking him with this part that doesn't bend, okay? Because if I can get, let's say here, and then I can go through here, and I get right here, and Drew asked me, do I want thumbs? Not really. Now right here, I'm not even gonna choke it with my wrist, because here, I'm just gonna pull this elbow to my hip, and then my hip is gonna roll on his face, on his neck, and it's a finish, okay? Another way to set this up is, so you're gonna go here, right? And then let's say I go here, I'm gonna go from the other side though, and then you go from here, right? That arm right there, a couple things happen. So I'm gonna scoop back and I'm gonna keep my hip back right here. So this arm, as it goes back, there's like three things that happen with his top arm. Either nothing, at which point I'm gonna do this. Okay. I'm gonna do this and grab crossface right here, and I'm gonna flatten him out. Okay, and you have the pressure here as you reach here. Pressure, and then you flatten them out right about here. If you start bringing this out, he starts giving you counter pressure with that elbow, with that left elbow, yeah, right here. And then you go here, here, and then you go, and then you're just on the other side. So if you did it from the opposite side, okay. But if you notice, this is constantly pulling here, and then here. If I go here, he'll probably block it. But if I go here, and I'm constantly driving in, I can grab right about anywhere as low as I can. The higher I grab, the looser it is. So I want to get in here, and then again plank, and roll on to the right side, okay? So how that would look from here, down we start on this side. So let's say, from here, go here, I switch right here, right? Put my knee in, and now I'm gonna open up his elbow here. I wanna kind of maybe get that head arm choke right there. He brings his elbow down, and I go here. You don't wanna stay here long because your arm's all squirrely here. And now from here, I keep my head low, and I start grinding my hips across his face, and I start driving in here. As you go here, grab anywhere here, and now, even if he does that, you load the weight. Yes?
On the head arm choke, is there something, I'll ask it this way, is there something I'm doing wrong? I feel like I'm going against their strength. It's kind of what you touched on, and maybe it's just a matter if they're so strong, I have to go to what you have to get out of it. But
it's good on because it depends on if you get it. The thing with that It's not a head on. It's an arm triangle.
Arm triangles, yeah.
That's what it is. So look. So I went to scarf hold. I went here, and now from here I'm gonna switch my base here. And as I'm switching here, I bring this arm back. I want his elbow to be just in my armpit. If I'm too tight here, I don't have enough pressure to roll him flat, but I need to be with his elbow just below my armpit here, so I can reach here and I can begin to drive him flat. From here, it's almost like I can adjust here. I can do this, okay? Or I can begin to roll him flat here, and I can begin to do this. And then I go. Okay? But this right here works very well also. If I'm too deep right here, it's like I can't drive him forward, because my goal is to get him flat, 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 and then roll him flat, like so. All right.
Thank you.
Now, these cutter chokes are effective if you do them effectively, but I'm gonna show you the most horrible cutter choke ever. I thought John volunteered. John, well, he's wearing a white gear, you know. Okay, look, I'm gonna do this. From here, I'm gonna set it up the same way. I'm going to push this down as he blocks my hip. I step over here. My right hand blocks his hip. I want to go to north-south right here. And I get right about here. From north-south, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my lapel, right? And I'm going to feed it to my right hand right there. You guys see that, right?
Yeah.
And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to control this head, because I'm going to walk back here, okay? And now there's a couple things that happen. If I want to bring my hand around here, he pulls my elbow, which is fine, because I'm going to grab my own lapel right here, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it literally right here, except now I want to get my left elbow on the mat, all right? My lapel is literally wrapped around his neck, and now I don't really care as much about that right arm of his, because here, if he tries to escape this way, it finishes. If he rolls away, okay? If he tries to hug my head, go ahead. All right, because this lapel is literally around his neck. If I go here and he pulls my elbow, I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna drive this forward, okay? And you drive this forward and you try to hook that arm right there.
Are you catching his carotid on that side?
Yeah, I got one arm here.
On your arm side, yeah.
Yeah, and now I'm pulling this, but I'm also pulling the right, with the right this way here, as I'm driving this one there, okay? You want to get fancy, you have this right here, this, you know, you have all kinds of wonderful stuff, but this lapel is around his neck. But just going back to the actual cutter choke, you're going to go to north-south right here, and you drive here, okay? Because here, everybody knows the cutter's coming, but here, he may not even think about anything here, because you're trying to fake it, and he's here, and then you just feed this right about there. And as you start walking back, you bring your elbow in, and you just grab it even right here. Bring your elbow in, and now you're, and here, I'm elbow to my rib, and I'm just gonna slide it down on the mat like this. Because this here, he's stuck. I don't want it as much here, because there's a hole right there. Yeah, and I don't want that. I want this right here. So it's almost the same. I'm doing here, except I have my lapel right here, because now I can pull with the right and twist and drive, and he'll tap. If he starts trying to hook my head with the left arm, okay, I can finish and I can drive it, okay? And he can't really do much. So that's the Gregorian cutter right here. And then you also have this right here, as I keep driving and hook that arm, because here I'm just crawling back and driving my shoulder and pulling as I'm going here. And then that's not enough. Yeah, that from the bottom too. Just watch this. He goes for his paper cutter. I go for mine. This is the G track. So as he's going for his, you see, look. He's got his, I got mine. I got more torque from the bottom. And that's great. I forget about it. So try it from the top. Make sense? Left lapel. 1, 2, 3. So right hand will grab the collar and feed the left lapel to the right hand. Walk back.